Don't be afraid of competition. That's the message for today's video. I'm Nadine Hill, a former marketing professional turned yoga teacher, and I help yogis with things that they didn't learn in their yoga teacher training, such as marketing tips for small businesses and business strategy. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button below so that you receive updates about the new fresh content which I'll be putting on here weekly. And also feel free to leave me a comment if there's anything that you want me to address in a future video. So back to the whole competition thing. Don't be worried about competition with yoga businesses. First of all, there are plenty of people out there who have not yet done yoga. There's still plenty of markets to go around. I've seen in a few yoga groups on social media lately that people are saying it's such a saturated market. There's so many yoga teachers. There's too many yoga schools doing yoga teacher training and turning out all these new teachers. Don't panic, don't panic. All I would say is there's more than enough room for all of us to practice. Don't assume that other yoga teachers want to teach yoga in exactly the same way that you do. What I mean by that, I'll just explain. So, when I did my yoga teacher training, it wasn't with the intention of coming home and becoming a yoga teacher. That's not why I did it. That is what I ended up doing, but that's not why I did it in the first place. I was at a crossroads in my life and I was wondering, what do I do next? Should I go? I'd worked from home for a decade and a half while I was raising my young family. And I thought, shall I go back to the office? Shall I go back to marketing? That's what I'd known, that was my career. And then I'd run a self-employed business while I was at home. But I thought, yeah, maybe I should go back to marketing. That was what I was planning on doing. But then there was something in me that was thinking, I'm not sure I actually want to do the whole 40-hour week again, the commute in, even if you do hybrid working a couple of days at home, I'm not sure. There was something holding me back. And I decided to follow my heart. I love doing yoga. I'd had a practice for 20 years doing yoga. I'd love yoga. And I thought, I love it. Let's just go to yoga teacher training and deepen my own practice. And maybe the space and time and the new experience might help me figure it out. When I got back from my yoga teacher training, I decided I wanted to give it a go, to become a teacher. But I wasn't necessarily interested in booking up the local church hall and running yoga classes every night. I wanted to do something in the corporate area because this was an area I was familiar with. And also when I did work in a corporate field, I was very familiar with the tight shoulders and sitting at a desk all day doing this hunched over. I was very familiar with that. And I knew that I would have loved it at the time had somebody been teaching yoga and was willing to come to my office and teach yoga in my lunch break. So that was the market I wanted to go after. So don't assume that if you're a yoga teacher, you're going to be fighting for competition in your local area. Not everybody wants to do the community centre yoga or go and work at a local gym. They may want to focus on corporate yoga. They may want to focus on doing private one-to-one classes only. They may want to focus on being an online yoga teacher and running a virtual business via Zoom with clients anywhere. So don't worry about your local area. Now, even if in your local area there are another 3 people already doing yoga, that doesn't mean there's not enough room for you too. Because let's say those 3 people are doing yoga and they have a class on a weekly basis. They can't be everywhere doing everything. Maybe their classes are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and there's a gap on a Sunday. Maybe you could fill that. Or maybe they don't want to work evenings. Maybe they just want to work during the daytime or mornings, but you're happy, you're a night owl, you'd rather teach your yoga class on an evening. Also, maybe their style of yoga isn't the same as yours. You might be qualified as a power vinyasa instructor. They might do hatha. They might prefer yin. And they might even be doing yoga nidra and restorative yoga, more stillness and meditation rather than active movement. There are so many different kinds of yoga and not all of us want to do exactly the same thing. I enjoy taking a vinyasa class from time to time, but it's not my preference to teach that. I prefer to teach hatha yoga because that's the style that I feel more comfortable in, and also I've got a good range of people in my local area who want to learn hatha yoga, so it's a good solution for me. but not everybody is the same. I've got friends who only ever teach vinyasa. That's all that they do. And so they will attract different clientele than the people that I would attract to my hatha class. Don't be afraid of competition. And also, it's worth pointing out, yoga people do tend to be more collaborative and open and sharing. We all appreciate there are opportunities out there for all of us, and we're stronger together than we are in competition with each other. I've got many yoga teacher friends who I support. When I click like on their social media, I share their stuff, they share my stuff, and actually we've passed each other work from time to time. So when somebody wants to go on holiday, wants me to cover their class, I'm here. Or I had a friend who was asked to cover for 3 weeks at a local luxury apartment complex. She was unable to teach yoga and she asked if I could do it, and I could do it while she was on holiday. So it's a great way of expanding your network and doing favors for each other, because we can't all be out there 24/7 teaching yoga all the hours of the day and night. We'd never get any rest. So it's important to look after your own energy levels as well, so that you can bring your best self to your yoga students. So don't be afraid of competition. There is more than enough out there for all of us. If you want any more tips, business strategy, or if there's something particular that you want me to focus on in a future video, please do leave me a comment below. If you've enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe so that you receive updates about future videos that I'm doing. So until then, thank you for watching, and namaste.